Welcome to the HarvestNet podcast, where we discuss topics such as leadership, ministry, and church planting as we aim to fulfill the Great Commission together through relational connections. HarvestNet International is a global network that exists to network and equip frontline workers for world harvest. It is our hope to see the gospel preached in all nations and to partner with others who share a common goal. We hope that this podcast will encourage, equip, and empower you. For more information on HarvestNet, visit our website at harvestnetinternational.com.
Hi everybody, Barry Wissler here from HarvestNet International, and I want to talk to you today about how to select a good leadership team. So whether this is in your business or if it's in the church, a team of elders or a church board, maybe you lead a volunteer team, but how do you select a team that can help you shoulder the responsibilities? I believe the first ingredient to a functional team is to have the right team members. You know, if it's a decision-making governing board, they need to be good at governance. We don't pick people because they're our friends, because we like them. We should pick people that have the skills, the ability, the calling from God, perhaps, to function on a team. And of course, they need to be able to get along well with others, to be able to collaborate in decision-making. But I believe that team members, particularly in a church, they must have the right character and not just gift. Gifting is important, and this is true for any position in the church, whether it's a worship leader or children's ministry, youth leader. Someone who's amazing at their gift or amazing with a personality is not always the right person to be the leader. They also have to have the right character and the right heart. They have to have godly motives. They need to have a spiritual maturity. I've seen people put somebody who has a really amazing gift in a position of leadership, only to find out that their character, is not able to carry that gift, and it causes problems. So I'm not impressed just by intellect or ability or personality alone. I really need to know the person's heart. So I think the best way to find team members is to raise them up through training and testing. And this means you give people some responsibility. You watch how they handle it. You take note if they can get along with other people, how they interact with others over time. And particularly for the role of elder on a church board, they need to prove themselves able to do that before you put them on that team. But again, I can't stress character enough. It's sadly, we have a culture that really honors being amazing, but amazing on camera or amazing on the stage is not the same as having a godly character, if you're on a leadership team. So the illustration that my spiritual father, Alan Vincent, used comes from 1 Chronicles 12, and it's a story about David's mighty men. I think David had over 30 mighty men. He had a couple. I think there were 3 of them that were his core team. But the Bible talks a lot about these men. They were strong. They were fierce at battle. They're very capable. And David formed a group out of these men. They came to him as volunteers. And it's good when people volunteer, but you need more than just a willingness to act. Sometimes people want a job because they're looking for significance or something like that, and you need more than that. So in 1 Chronicles 12, it says, "From the Gadites there came over to David in the stronghold in the wilderness mighty men of valor, men trained for war, who could handle shield and spear, and whose faces were like the faces of lion. They were as swift as the gazelles on the mountains." Verse 14 says, this is in Chronicles 12, "These of the sons of Gad were captains of the army. He who was least was equal to 100, and the greatest to 1,000. So these were accomplished warriors. Some of them led armies of their own, and they came to David and they said, "Listen, we'd like to help you." They volunteered. So then in verse 16, it says, "Some of the sons of Benjamin and Judah came to the stronghold of David. David went out to meet them, and he said to them," this is very important, "If you come peacefully to me to help me, my heart shall be united with you. But if you betray me to my adversaries, since there is no wrong in my hands, may the God of our fathers look on it and decide. Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was the chief of the 30, and he said, "We are yours, David, and we are with you, O son of Jesse. Peace to you, and peace to him who helps you. Indeed, our God helps you." Then David received them and made them captains of the band. So David took these leaders and built an amazing army out of them. David's style was still consultative. He was a king. He was a monarch. But, it says at one point that he consulted with all his captains. He was a strong central leader, but he depended on a team of advisors, and he called them these mighty men. So there's three questions that came out of this, what David said to the men. He says, "If you come peacefully to me to help me, my heart shall be united with you." From this, we can draw three questions that are useful in team building. And I'm not saying you just ask people these questions, although you could, but these are questions that you should ask in your mind about these people. And of course, at the end, David gave them a warning that if they broke protocol and trusted the team, God would see that and judge them. Number one question is, have you come peacefully? In English, peace just means absence of conflict. We have war, a peace deal is made, and then we have peace. But it goes deeper than that. In the ancient languages, the concept of peace is in the context of relationships. The Greek word eirene actually speaks, it was a medical term at the time. It was used that when a bone was broken and was set and then it healed, they would say that it's come to peace. And you know that a bone at that point is stronger than it was before, but the bone came to peace. And I think what David is saying here about, have you come in peace is, will you come with the attitude to strengthen relationships between us? Are you coming peacefully? Will you function peacefully? Because if you come to cause turbulence in our relationships, we don't really need you, even if you're gifted. And I've seen this happen many times where someone is brought in because of a skill or a gift, but they can't function peacefully with other team members. It causes tension, and the morale of the team drops. But team members must be secure, not joining it to seek significance. Team members must be able to relate to each other in a mature way, in a godly way, and not everybody with a gift for ministry will do that. So again, it comes back to this thing of character before gift and the person's willingness. Have you come in peace, and will you relate to the other members on the team and to the team leader in peace? The second question, very simple, is, have you come to help me? Well, that seems sort of silly to ask because these guys were volunteering. Of course, they've come to help David. But are you here to become part of a team to get our job done, or are you here for your own personal reasons? Do you have your own agenda? What is it that you want out of this for yourself? Can you join the agenda and the goals of the team and help the team achieve its goals? Sometimes people want on the team because they want something for themselves that they want to accomplish. They're looking for significance, or they have a personal goal. Obviously, personal goals and the giftings are fine, but we need to be able to adopt the one vision, the one agenda of the team. So these guys were offering themselves to David to serve, but he still pressed them with the question, have you come to help me? Are you here to help me to fulfill the vision that I carry, the vision that the team has adopted? Every team can have only one vision. It might be multifaceted, and a team member might bring something to the team that's new and adds to the vision, but you can't have two visions that compete with each other. We have to embrace the one vision of the house, and we have to fit our vision into that. Team members need to do that when we bring them on. It is important for us to learn to serve the vision of another. And I think the New Testament makes that clear. I think that when we're faithful with the vision of another, God will give us sometimes responsibility and a vision of our own. So the second question, David's just saying, will you help us accomplish our vision? Or are you basically going to still focus on your own? And David wants to know, can I count on you? Will you come through for me and the team if I put you on the team? You know, Paul could delegate a lot to Timothy because he had a heart like David's. In fact, Paul said, for I have no one else of kindred spirit who will genuinely be concerned for your welfare, for they all seek after their own interests, but not those of Christ Jesus. I think some of the biggest messes that I've seen in churches or organizations is when leaders on a team seek their own rather than for the group. I don't believe that government will corrupt when we are not seeking our own, when we're seeking the benefit of the organization. I think what it says about Jesus in Philippians 2 should be our motto for leadership. Paul says there, make my joy complete by being of the same mind, maintaining the same love, united in spirit, intent on one purpose. Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also the interests of others. Have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus, who, although he existed in the form of God, did not regard equality with God a thing to be grasped, but he emptied himself, taking the form of a bondservant, and being made in the likeness of men, being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on the cross. So as leaders, we should use this as a creed, that we're not on the team to seek personal things. We're there to seek the benefit of the organization, the church, the gospel, the mission, those things. Number 3, last question, will you let your heart be joined to mine? I've seen boards, even in churches, where there was no real friendship or deep love among the team. They were there to make decisions, and then, they went home. I think David wanted a relationship with his leaders, not just men with a position, on a board. But great teams will become friends, and they will enjoy a tight relationship with each other and have enough of relational equity that they can be honest and open with each other. But a team should enjoy being together, not just in the meetings, but maybe find some things for others. I know as elders, we go on a retreat together. We go out to eat with our wives. This is at ECC. We've rented a bunch of four-wheelers and went to northern Pennsylvania to the mountains and just rode them around the mountain. We've gone to places to have fun. We've gone bowling together, things like that. It's just important for a team to enjoy being together. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes an investment in the relationship outside of the meetings. I believe the leaders should be relationally joined, not just organizationally joined. There's a business and an organization side to church, but the church is a family. We are not just simply an earthly organization. We have that. We have, churches are incorporated and we have decision-making and so on. But the Bible always speaks of God's people, whether it's the Old Testament or New, as a family. And the terminology that he uses is, Timothy, the older men, treat them like fathers. The younger men, treat them like brothers. And the same way for the women. We need to have a relationally joined mentality. A good team will develop a comfort level and an ease of relating together. This is what's, if you're joined at the heart, there's comfort level there to be honest, to talk, to help each other. And we should be friends who have each other's hearts and each other's trust. And of course, that takes a commitment to the relationship. It's not just, I'm on this board, I got one meeting a month and then I'm done. It really shouldn't be that way. So David, I'll close with this. He did give them a warning at the end. He said, if you betray me, since there's no wrong on my hands, in other words, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give you this place. It will be a stewardship of responsibility. But if you betray me, in other words, if I count on you and then find out I can't count on you, like if you turn against me, God will look on it and bring judgment. And I think that's a sobering matter that we take seriously, the roles that we're in and our relationship and commitment to the team. Betrayal is what hurts senior leaders very deeply. And we think of betrayal as, something that ends in death, like Jesus being betrayed by Judas. But betrayal can be just a relationship that we counted on, and all of a sudden we realize we can't count on that person. They've either turned against us or they've turned away from us. Many church problems arise from betrayal and treachery among leaders. So basically, David had a covenant mentality. If you're going to be one of my mighty men, I need to know that I can count on you, and and be loyal. And if you're not loyal, I won't deal with you, but God will look on it and bring judgment.
Thank you for joining us today. We're so thankful that you took time to listen. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like and subscribe to our channel, and feel free to share this episode with your friends. To learn more or to give to HarvestNet, visit the link in our channel description. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at HarvestNet International.